Hey man, listen, y'all keep telling you guys, man, I got the dopest channel on YouTube. I am sitting here today with Keith Kalfas. This is the man that inspired me to start my window cleaning business, and I drove all the way here from St. Louis, Missouri. We talked on the phone 2 days ago about possibly doing this. He said, Sean, if you can get here Friday, man, we could do it. I left St. Louis today. Me and Lil Sean, we drove straight here to Detroit, Michigan. And my man that showed me and Lil Sean love as soon as we got here, Keith Kalfas, what is up, man?
What's up, Sean G? Man, meeting you in person. It's like, just like in the videos, but your presence is right here, right now. You're one of the realest people I've ever met, and it's a pleasure to meet you in person.
Hey Keith, give us all your social media. Give them all that. Let's get that out the way.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere on social media. Keith Kalfas, Keith Kalfas. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, my website, keithkalfas.com, and my podcast, the Untrapped Podcast.
All right, Keith. Let's. Where are you from? Where were you born?
I was born in Metro Detroit, Michigan.
So you were born and raised here.
Oh yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
Never went to high school. I dropped out in the 9th grade.
Where'd you go to junior high school?
Sterling Heights, Michigan, in the suburbs of Detroit.
Where'd you go to elementary school?
Well, I've lived in 32 different homes, so we bounced all over the place. So there's never much stability, but I did go to like a normal elementary school for a little while, and it was
Two-parent household, Keith?
no.
Can we? I want to get into that. Can we get into that?
Some of it, yeah.
All right. So you grew up with your moms and pops, or just moms, or what?
First of all, I did, looking back, I had some resentment, but I believe I had a beautiful childhood because I got to experience a lot of diversity and going to like 14 different schools and 32 homes, including we lived in 2 different homeless shelters with my mom, slept in my mom's car. And I remember the state was going to take us away, Child Protective Services. And my mom found this boyfriend, he climbed up the utility pole and he somehow rigged the electricity. But I called him recently, I have 30-something years later, to thank this guy, or else I wouldn't even have known my mom. My parents split up when I was, I think before I was born, yeah.
Good relationship with Mom Dukes, good relationship with your father? You? Talking about you personally.
Actually, yeah. Yes, there were very, very good moments that I can look back and be very fond of. It's a touchy subject for me because my mother had passed away from a heroin overdose. My mom struggled with drugs and depression.
How old were you when she?
Like 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
So throughout your growing up years, your childhood years, she was getting high and all that?
She might have hid it from us, but I remember my mom teaching me very good morals. We lived in the projects and in trailer parks, and we were always on welfare and food stamps and things like that. And I remember a lot of times, most of the time, my mother being disconnected, chain smoking cigarettes, and being depressed, sitting in front of the TV, or being manic around the house. Like every minute was like the world's caving down. She'd fly off the handle. But as far as being a mother and connecting with me, I could go up to my mother anytime and put my arms around her and hug her and get a real, genuine, loving, present hug. And the things that mattered the most, I think I had an amazing mom.
My man. What about your pops?
Yeah, same thing here. My father was very disconnected, but there were moments that we would go to the park and play basketball and throw a football around or frisbee, and just something as simple as packing sandwiches with potato chips and going to the park with my dad are the most beautiful moments of my life. I tracked my dad down. it's not like he's out of my life, but I've had to put in some very strong boundaries with my own father. In fact, go to, I don't want to say because he's still alive, but because I don't want to disrespect my father, and I love him. But I tracked him down a few months ago. I went and I bought a football, and I took him out to breakfast, and I took a football out, and I threw it to him, and he caught it. He goes, "What's going on here? We're standing in a parking lot. We just got breakfast." I'm like, "Throw it back." He's like, throws it back, and then I threw it, and I stood back a little bit farther, 5 feet, 6, 10, 15. Next thing you know, we're throwing a football back and forth. He's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, all I wanted to do that morning was throw a football with my father, because I knew I could wake up the next morning and he'd be dead, and I would be dying inside, because all a kid wants to do is throw a ball with his dad. And I took a picture of him and me in the football, and I sent it to my friend, who told me that you better go throw a football with your dad, because I don't have a fucking dad. And I sent the picture to him, and he was totally jealous, but not in a hateful way. I would never want to rub anything in there like that, you know.
That's dope. That's dope. So Keith, now you don't graduate high school.
Yeah.
You drop out in the 9th grade.
Yeah, so I was always the bad kid, the class clown. I was always getting in trouble. I was ADD, and I was diagnosed ADD and suicidal by the 3rd grade. My mother would...
So the school system says?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just, I don't know, looking for presence in my life. You know, looking for a mother or father figure, somebody to connect with me. So, but anyways, I've never had anybody ask me these questions. I was always getting kicked out of school, and I hated school, man. I got all E's and F's all through school, but I was the kid who would like ace the MEP tests, and they would just pass me just to get me through. But by 9th grade, I was in these, what are they called? They're alternative schools for bad kids, you know, shit like that. And I would do crazy shit. I would be in school, and right in the middle of the lesson, I would just pick up my chair and knock it over and make a weird noise and go, blah, blah, blah. Just this energy. And I would just go down to the lunchroom, and there was a piano, and I'd play piano. I'd play the piano, or I'd like climb up the rafters in the gym and just throw a chocolate.
You know how to play the piano?
Oh, hell yeah.
Really? You know all the keys and notes, everything?
I play mostly by ear, but I taught myself how to read music, so I could figure out how to play like some Beethoven and like some other songs. I have a keyboard behind me. I'll play if you want.
Well, man,
I'll play for you guys if you want. But
So Keith, now you're 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. What are you doing? 17, 18 years old. What's going on with Keith Kalfas?
watching my friends overdose on heroin, drugs, dying, committing suicide, watching my mom out all night, and me feeling just angry and confused. And so I got lost in working out and running. I'd go run 5-6 miles a night every night and work out. And by the time I was 15, I ran away from home, and I slept on couches all the way until I got my own apartment at 18. And I had a lot of regret because I have 2 sisters. The people I love the most in my life are my wife and my 2 sisters. And so my little sister was 4 or 5 years younger than me, and I didn't realize at the age of 14 I was supposed to be the man of the house, and there was no milk or food, and I fucking just left. And I left my little sister behind, and I spent years in regret over that. And I've done apologize to her, and it's like, if I could go back, I would have fucking stayed and made sure my little sister was taken care of. And she turned out fine. She's married now, and she's got kids. And it's just like, and I heard the same thing my older sister ran away to when I was a kid. When I was like, she was like 11, and she went to stay with another family member. And she had that same type of guilt for leaving your, what is it called? Your siblings.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends, well, it's my best friend who drank himself to death. He died too. He said something to me when we were younger. He said, "You fucking ran away when you were 15, and you've been running ever since. And you need to quit fucking running from your life and from your problems." And so by the time I had met my wife, I was always just a little bitch, man. I was so scared all the time. And I think ending up in a sticky spot, and by the time I was 27, the dead-end jobs weren't working out. I had gotten a car accident because I had no car insurance. I was broke. I got sued for like 20 grand by an insurance company. They took my driver's license. Here I am, 27-year-old grown-ass man. No place to live, no driver's license, no money in the bank, no car. And yet I got this beautiful girl that I had fallen in love with, that I put a ring on her finger. And now I had this responsibility. To me, I take marriage and like very seriously. If you make a promise or a commitment to somebody else on that level, like now I've involved her into my life and all my bullshit. And we had an apartment together. Dude, I was so fucking scared. I was like, I felt like the Holy Spirit was talking to me. Like, if you fuck this up, you're just going to, your worst nightmares are gonna come true. It's like those feelings when you're hung out on the edge of a pirate's plank and you're living life on a shoestring and you're scared, but you still got that shoestring. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel seems so far away. It's like looking through the eye of a needle. It's like a pin of light in the blackness. And that's where I felt like I was down in a hole. And I remember crying my eyes out. I used to wear these stupid ass silver rings and like a rosary around my neck, and I wanted to be, I was afraid to admit that I was just an average Joe. I didn't want to be average. I had to wear like rips in my jeans, and I had to be fucking, I just couldn't accept the fact that I was a nobody. And I was fucking broke. And I went fucking crazy and turned my whole life around. I started a business. I'm sorry.
Right. Now, you inspired me to start my window cleaning business. You were the one that I saw when I got out of federal prison and I couldn't get a job. And I don't like authority figures. I don't like bosses. I don't like being told what to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm a serial entrepreneur. I saw you cleaning windows, and you inspired me to start my window cleaning business. How did that start? Start me from the day, how low you were, and then you said, "Yo, I'm gonna start cleaning windows."
Yeah. All right. So I had started this little tiny landscaping business out of the back of my wife's car because I couldn't even afford it. I didn't even have a car. And we're fighting because now she's getting home from work waiting tables, and I'm like, I need your car now. I'd get off work cutting grass for $10-12 an hour. And then I was able to actually get clients, and I was doing side jobs. And so I started this little landscape business, and I was making money, and then I quit my job and I went full time. But then when the winter came, I wasn't getting any unemployment. There was no jobs anywhere. I had job applications out. I went to truck driver school. I got a CDL. Anything that I could do to make sure the rent for the winter time. Like, get a winter job. That's what you do when you start a seasonal business until you get it established, because you need that money every single month. And so I was going into CVS and like Walgreens, and I was always in the magazine section looking at small business opportunities and anything I can get my hands on. What is the lowest cost startup business that I can start? And it was like, you can make buttons from home and pins, you can do all these crazy things. And I saw window cleaning in the magazine. I was like, window cleaning? Wait. I remember one time when I was like 16, I bought a squeegee, a scrubber, and a bucket, and I was telling everybody I was going to start a window cleaning business. And I picked up one account, and then I put it down. And then later, again, when I lost my apartment and I had no place to live, one time I was living with my grandma's, and I was like, oh my God, I could go up and down all around the neighborhood, and I could go ask people if they want their windows cleaned for $10, I don't know. And I was like, no, I'd feel stupid. And I didn't even know that it was a whole industry. I had no idea. But now that my back was against the wall and I had no choice, I took I had maybe $50 to $80 to my name, and I went.
How old were you then, Keith?
Dude, I was literally 28.
With $50 to your name.
Dude, I was broke. We had an eviction notice. We had 6 days. We had the pink piece of paper on our door. My cell phone was overdue. So I was calling Metro PCS saying, please do not shut off my phone. Just give it just one more day. You know, I had already dumped out all the change. There was no change left, and nobody was going to give me a nickel, and my back was against the wall. And yet I had my bride. So...
You took the $50?
Dude, that was supposed to pay the electricity bill. Dude, I went to Home Depot. I got a scrubber, a squeegee, and a bucket and some dish soap. And by that time I had the Blue Goose, which was a piece of crap. I'm sorry, that truck was amazing. It was a 1991 Dodge Dakota covered in rust. And it had 300,000 miles, and it still ran. And I took that thing, and I was paying off attorneys that time too, because had gotten sued from I was in a noose, man. And I went out. It was freezing out, dude. It was like 16 degrees, ice just stuck all to the concrete, and I bundled up. And we live in a metropolitan area, and I went and I walked into a place, and I saw a script on the window cleaning resource online forum, and I modified it. I wrote it down. It's like, hi, you're basically telling a white lie. Hi, my name is Keith. Well, first you walk in and you say, let me talk to the owner. The owner's never there. He's really in the back. It depends. If it's a corporate place or a mom and pop shop, I could go on about for hours. There's nobody there. It's just a flapper thing. Okay. But I was like, I have a local window cleaning business, and I'm currently expanding in this area. Do you currently have anybody that cleans your windows? The windows are right there. They're filthy, right? A Chinese restaurant, nail salon, sub shop, Tubby Submarines, dirty. Gas station. They say, no, we don't want none. We're busy. Yeah, but the windows are dirty. We have a window cleaning guy. I'm like, well, where is he? Sorry, we're really busy. And I would put my head down, and I would leave and go to the next place. And then everybody was saying no, even though their windows were filthy. I came home that day, and I got no jobs. I only went out for like 4 hours, but 4 hours seems like a long time when you don't have any confidence and you're scared or you don't know how to do it, you're not making money.
And you get that rejection.
So now I had 5 days, and we had to be evicted. I went out again, and I tried it again because I had no other options. And I'm going inside of these stores, and I sold like 1 or 2 jobs. They're like, yeah, you can go ahead and do it. I was like $10. I made $27. 17 or 20, because you said $27.
I made 27 my first day.
Yeah. So it was something with the 7, $27. I came home, and I felt so discouraged and so defeated because I just pulled out some crumbly little $27 out of my pocket. I said, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. Now I got like 5 or 4 days, and we're getting evicted. I fucking woke up the next morning, and I fucking snapped, dude. No, that night I snapped, because now I knew it was do or die. All the sales training, all the motivational audiobooks, everything I had ever learned, I knew in that moment, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. This is sink or swim. This is do or die. This is for real. This is not a fucking joke. This ain't a joke. I woke up the next morning at fucking 6:30 in the morning, freezing outside, sideways wind, like it's snowing a little bit. I got my fucking bucket, my squeegee, my scrubber, and I went out like a fucking dude. I didn't give a fuck. I went. My name's Keith. I got a local window cleaning business, and your windows are dirty as hell. I'll clean them all right now. I'll clean them right now. $20. Whoa. No, where's your window cleaner? You said you got a window cleaner, but where is he? Hey. $15, $14, $13, $12. All right, buddy, you'll clean my windows right now for $12? Dude, I'll clean your windows right now for $12. I got you. And like, all right. He's like, shit, this fucking guy with $12. Boom. Cleaned all the windows for $12. And by that time, I think I had ordered some cheap business cards on like Vistaprint or something, and they finally came in. And I had like a list of like 1, 2, 3, and 4. I would mark down every person if I had a conversation with them, if they were hot, if I actually cleaned their windows, if they were warm, or if they were like, hell no, don't ever go back there ever again, or these people are going to call the cops on you. And then every day I would go home with a stack of business cards, and everybody on lunch, like if I was eating lunch in between cleaning windows or I was at home, I was on the phone the whole time calling back all the other people that I had visited, asking them if they want their windows cleaned. Like I totally fucking snapped to the point where I was going to get money no matter what, and it didn't matter. I wasn't doing anything legally wrong, morally wrong, or ethically wrong. I talk about this in my book, How to Make $500 a Day Cleaning Windows. It's the book on Amazon and Audible.com. I became the slick salesman who wanted to clean your windows. I became the schizophrenic weirdo who told you all his problems to get you to feel guilty to let you clean his windows. I became the overly confident guy who's like, dude, no matter what chameleonized character or person that I had to be to get your fucking windows clean and get money, I was going to do it, and it didn't matter. And I went out in a 48-hour period, and I sold 42 bi-weekly window cleaning accounts. I literally blew up an entire window cleaning route in 48 hours. And I came home that day with $180 in my pocket. Next day, 140, 220, 170. And I was a madman. I had my little shitty truck with the little tiny green ladder. And then by that time I went to Home Depot and I got a little extension pole. And I went from like whole plazas that got, like 17 stores in the plaza and restaurants and everything. If I got one in there, like the Arabic restaurant, I'm cleaning the windows for $32. I would go to the other ones and say, hey, I clean the Arabic restaurant next door. Let me clean your Chinese restaurant because I'm here. And if anybody said no, I said, all right, well, I'll be back next week and I'm going to ask you again. And I just kept drilling on them until I became a familiar face. And what happened was very quickly they let their guard down and they let me start cleaning their windows. There was people that if they say no, I'd start cleaning the window for free right in front of them. And some people like, no, stop. Oh, okay, here's $5. It didn't matter. I had no more pride. I didn't care about what anybody thought about me because I was already dead. I was already like, it didn't matter how I looked. It didn't, nothing that, all the facades in my head that I had built, excuse me, it's dry in here, around what I thought was important. When you're at rock bottom, nothing else is, well, everybody has a different terminology of rock bottom, right? But for me, that was one of my rock bottom places.
Now, Keith, check it out. Now,
yeah.
You're not there anymore.
No.
6 YouTube channels?
Yeah.
A full-blown window cleaning business.
Yeah.
A full-blown landscaping business.
Yeah.
How many employees do you have?
Well, now I have all the way back down to 2.
Okay.
I went all the way up to 3 trucks. I've had 6 and 7 guys working, two crews and me out selling jobs. It was a nightmare. I didn't have it systematized. I didn't know what I was doing. And it was too stressful, so I brought it back down to 1 truck, then tried 2 again, then 1, then just me and 1 other guy for a while, then brought it back to 2 guys, then I hired a receptionist, a secretary, got a bookkeeper, and now I have a tiny little profitable landscaping business that we do, like the average ticket job is $2,600. Our window cleaning business is, the average ticket job is $312.50 is our average ticket. And we're raising all the prices now, and now we're restructuring the business. The whole business is getting restructured, and I'm actually growing the business now, but from a strong foundation of systems, structures, marketing, administration, production and sales. Everything will have its own kind of like a department theoretically, so it can be something that doesn't require me to be there 24/7.
And then Keith, now there's a whole media thing you got going on too with these YouTube channels, live events.
Yeah.
coaching, consulting. Talk
Yeah.
about that. And
So,
all of this came from an eviction notice, man, and
Yeah.
$50, man.
yeah. So, the videos that I made, I mean, I have videos on YouTube of me literally just taking my cell phone out and going in the bathroom because it was the only quiet place in our little apartment where there was good light, and I didn't care. I was cussing and yelling and ranting in about the way I felt because I had this transformational and transcendent experience of going from depending on somebody else for a paycheck every week and being scared to now feeling the freedom of having my own tiny small business, of being self-employed basically. And that freedom, when I got a taste of it, was so delicious and so amazing that there was a moment where I was driving in that Blue Goose truck, and it was the next no yeah it was the day that I quit my job. I'm driving. Sometimes you think when you have like a up in your life, like a high time. I know I'm not answering your question. I'm going to answer.
No, you good, go.
When you have a moment like a breakthrough, and all of a sudden maybe you get your first $15,000 job. I don't know what it is for you, but you feel like, oh, I made it. You might have made it for like that week, and you're having a beautiful week, and everything feels great, and you're happy, and you're making some money. But winter's coming. And shit's gonna get really, really dark and really hard again. And so the whole time, well, I waited until my business was established first, and I hit, I think I hit about 80 to 100,000 in the business, and made sure I had my clients locked down and I had money before I ever picked up a camera and started making YouTube videos, because I just didn't have the time. I was singularly focused 1,000% on making this business work, because I knew if I tried to make videos or do anything else, I had already learned in my life, when you try to do shit that doesn't make you money, when it's just, you got to get rid of everything that doesn't make money.
So you had ran it up from $50 to 80 to 100,000 to 80,000 to 100,000
in less than 24 months.
In less than 2 years.
In less than 2 years, yeah. And so
window cleaning.
as soon, no, landscaping and window cleaning.
Okay.
We brought the window cleaning business up to 50-50, 50% landscaping, 50% window cleaning. When I introduced the window cleaning to a lot of my landscape clients, maybe 30% of them hopped on board, because I was there on every job. They knew me, they liked me, they trust me. But then I started to really get heavy into the window cleaning, and I became obsessed with it, because I'll forever be fascinated with the fact that you can pick up a scrubber, a squeegee, and some dish soap and go make $100,000. The material cost and overhead is so low that you're just selling time and labor. And when you understand that you're selling a luxury service to people who mostly, when you get into high-end residential, have disposable income, it's a totally different game. Now you're selling luxury, and that's when you can get $400, $500, $600, $700 to clean somebody's house. But it took me a long time per house. That's when it took me a long time to build it took me a long time to build the confidence and the worthiness to even be able to charge that much, because we grew up poor. We never had anybody do anything like that. We never had anybody cut our grass or clean our windows, so I couldn't even relate to it. But that's a whole nother story for another time. So once I finally got the bills paid, and we didn't have an eviction notice, and I was able to just get some food in the fridge, I had made it out of that hole. And now I was somewhat stable. We had this tiny apartment, and I'm on the phone with my buddy Anthony Vitale one day. Dude, I've been making videos my whole life. I was the weird kid running around with the camera. I was vlogging in 2004. I was vlogging before it was even a thing. And so, excuse me, I should have grabbed my water. I want to break into the YouTube game, and I'm afraid that it's too saturated. And then I do research, and I'm looking up everything that I like, that I'm involved in, and landscaping and window cleaning are wide open. Nobody's making videos about this. I go, what do you mean? People are making videos about everything. This is 2013. I couldn't even believe it that nobody was making videos about landscaping and window cleaning. And I'm like, wait a second. With all the stuff I had learned, when I used to do music, about marketing, about making videos. So I was going through a depression and I thought I was going to die, literally. And this was more of a spiritual death or an ego death. It was, I thought I was going to actually die and leave this world. It was a very dark place. I had nothing to give away to anybody except for my life experience, and I had this phone. So I took out the phone and I just started pouring my life out onto the videos and telling people, if you're stuck in a dead-end job, you can start a window cleaning business. You can get this thing off the ground with absolutely nothing, because I did it. If some guy like me, whose mom died of a heroin overdose, who's flat broke and scared, you know, with nothing, and me, I got like Tourette syndrome. I'm always blinking and I have all these twitches and stuff, like, and I had huge self-esteem issues around that. I mean, if I can do this, you can definitely do this. And
how many YouTube channels you got now?
I've had a total of 8 YouTube channels. We have 6 YouTube channels right now. And
how many total subscribers you got?
Maybe 350,000 total followers. And we've got 50 million views online. I've written and published 3 Amazon bestsellers. I've spoken all of my dream is to be a keynote speaker, is to be the #1 inspirational speaker in the world. And I've watched all my dreams come true, and it's still happening. Like, dude, I've been a keynote speaker, and I've gotten paid $4,000 to speak on stage for 35 minutes. Like, I've been all over the country on stages. You can look on YouTube, speaking in front of hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people online, because I envisioned it and I wanted to touch other people's lives with my message. And so when I did music, my mentality was like, give me attention and look at me. Please give me some attention so I feel validated and important. This social media is totally different. It's look at you and what you can do. You can do this. You can fucking do this. If I came from nothing, you can do it too. So it's putting the spotlight on the people in my audience that are trying to get their business from zero. If they're trying to start a business and take it up to $100,000 a year, I'm the dude. Watch my channel and binge watch on my, especially some of my older videos. And there's some deep videos that will, if you resonate with me, that'll make you laugh, they'll make you cry, and they'll just turn your whole head upside down and make you feel so fired up that you'll actually go out and really do it for real. Because I really care for real about people, you know?
Hey, man, listen.
I need some water.
Listen. This is live TV. You can see it. We don't edit nothing. We're going to put this up just the way it is. But listen, you follow Keith. All of his links are underneath this video. There are no excuses. This man here has just illustrated and detailed that if you put your mind to something, you can make it happen, man. Follow him on his Instagram. That link is underneath this video. His YouTube channels. I think he's got some kind of live event. You want to talk about your live event, Keith?
Yeah, I have a live event called the Marketing ROI Live Workshop. It teaches you how to automate the sales and marketing inside of your service business. So if you have a business and you're stressed because you're doing everything, you're picking up the phones, you got sticky notes all over the place, your calendar, you're trying to learn how to get your website together. So like, I can help you automate all that stuff. So we have like 14 different lead sources coming into the business, and there's an entire sector in my business now where, I mean, literally, like, you get the notification, the customer went on the website, they already signed themselves up, they already paid for the service, qualified themselves, and now you can just send your guy to just go do the job, and you pay them their percentage, and you don't do anything. Now you're still on the hook for the customer, the quality, and making sure, but...
And they can learn all this at your live event that you're going to be doing?
Yeah, and dude, I'm not the guy. I have, like I have a successful little tiny business, but I'm learning from people who have multiple 7-figure businesses who have, you know, they're doing $5 million a year on autopilot. I'm looking up to the people that I'm grateful that I have found mentors in this business. Like, the window cleaning business cleaning is a $40 billion a year industry, and it's expanding every day. And the people who hop on with technology and they use software and systems, and they find freelancers to help outsource the administrative side of the business, because you can never circumvent the labor, especially in window cleaning, because the profit margins are too low unless you start adding like soft washing, pressure washing, and combo packages. I don't know how deep I'm getting, but you got to get the average ticket price up to over $1,000, so to speak, or the day rate of $1,200 for the truck if you got 2 guys out for a fully licensed, insured, legitimate, payroll, workers' comp. All the taxes are paid, everything, and fully lettered vehicles, so you can afford, an office staff or at least some type of office manager to help work. Like, there has to be profit margin to make all that work. And if you don't have the margins in place, then you're just going to be the guy out there doing it every single day, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're just a stage 1 business, which means that you're out there, and that's the most profitable place to be, is a very highly profitable business where you understand you're selling luxury services, but you're doing it at a very high level, but at a very tiny level. You can cut through all the competition and become a celebrity authority in your city where everybody wants you to clean their windows, and they'll pay you we get $2.99 to clean exterior windows, $4.99 inside and outside. Screens are $4 a piece, but we're raising all the prices anywhere from 20 to 30% this year because of the inflation.
$500 for a house. How long would it take you to clean the house?
We have a bunch of different houses, and the more times you do a house is the faster you can pick up the speed. And if you get your process down, and there's 2 people that work together who know exactly what they're doing, 2-man teams I think are the best. But a house that used to take us literally 4.5 hours, we can do in 2 hours. One of my client I'm thinking right now, he's I'll never say the client's name, but he's like a big manager at like Jimmy John's. His house is huge. I think I'm charging him $469, and then after the screens comes up like $550, and we're in and out and off the property in 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So another house that we're doing, these like rich attorneys, they won't let us videotape on the property. We have release forms and all, but that one's $964 every time we do the windows inside and out plus the screens. That one definitely takes every bit of 6.5 hours. But if you're at $120 an hour for 2 guys, which is $60 per man hour, that still is low. I want to get it up to $85 an hour, but a lot of people talk shit on the internet and they only tell you the highlight reel. Like, I could go on for an hour telling you all the mistakes where we spent fucking. I like how I can cuss. I can cuss on your channel.
Absolutely.
Dude, I can't really cuss on my channel. Dude, you clean a whole house. Do you have window cleaners watching this?
Yeah.
Dude, okay, you spend an hour and a half, 2 hours cleaning a whole house, and then spend 45 minutes just fucking around with the screens, trying to get the screens back in. There's so many different types of screens, and the ones that interlock like a puzzle and they come out one way but they only go back in a certain way, and if you try it any other way it doesn't work. And then the screen, the wood is swollen on the side, so you have to dude, I've become an expert at taking screens in and out to the point where I could I've done literally tens of thousands of screens. I can fly around the inside of the house. And bro, I've learned this trick. Take your scrubber, or if you spray the water, however you decide to do it on your, I have a Unger Ergotech window cleaning belt. If you have a stubborn screen, take your soapy water and spray it up in the corner that's being stubborn and sticky, and now it becomes like a lubricant, and the screen will just pop in and out faster. Dude, I got videos on all of. I'd never if I knew that window cleaning was an entire industry and a lot of people go through the same shit, I didn't even know my first year or 2 of cleaning windows until people started reaching out to me. And people were making fun of me online and sharing my videos. Like, who the fuck does this guy think he is, making all these window cleaning videos? We've been doing this for 20 fucking years, and this guy's coming out like he's an expert. And I wasn't, but what I was saying was what they weren't saying. They didn't want people to know what they knew, because they were old school and they didn't want the industry to become flooded. But I'm glad it all happened the way it did. And one of the hardest things I've had to do, my one client that I charged $964, we were doing it for $750. We have hundreds of clients, but The guy who was doing it for $750 before me quit because he couldn't take it anymore and the job was too hard. Like, this is a big ass house, and there's like fountains outside and fish, and the windows are like this big. And so I matched the price to get my foot in the door, and then finally I got the guts up and I raised the price. I said, listen, this is a $1,200 house all day, and I know that you might not care about that, but we've been cleaning your windows for a couple years now, and I'm taking my business to the next level, and hopefully you'll support me. But I did all the math, and $964 is what we have to charge you if we're going to continue to keep cleaning your windows this year. In or out? Like, what are your thoughts? And the customer, especially these high-profile clients who trust you in their house, dude, they got all the money in the world. They got a vacation house, a house in Florida. They got a brand new Mercedes. They're blowing money like crazy. What the fuck is an extra $150 to them? So, excuse me. Isn't it funny you don't cough all day, then you do an interview? And you have to get to that point, the fuck it button that you say. You have to get to the point. Yeah. You have to get to that point where you are willing to lose the client, and it's a scary place to be, and you have to just throw it on the table and watch what happens. You will lose a lot of clients, and you will be scared, and you have to get more. But the more you get used to that risky feeling of raising your own standards and upgrading your own identity, because here's what happened. When you're on a ladder inside of someone's house cleaning their windows, and there's a grand piano right there, and there's all this nice shit, and you go home to your fucking trailer or your one-bedroom apartment. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but at some point you get upset and you say, I want to have nice things too. Why do I have to be these people's bitch? Like, I became vindictive and upset, and I think I had to get upset and angry first and become resentful, until I could get to a point where I realized that all this lied in my own worthiness. 99% of all of my original clients are all gone. All the clients that I thought cared about me, I thought they were my friends, I knew the names of their kids and their pets. I even, I thought I knew these people, and I thought they actually cared about me. When I raised the price, these people all dropped me, didn't want anything to do with me anymore. And that hurt me emotionally inside, and I felt lied to, because I had built an identity around going to these people's houses and doing their landscaping and their window cleaning every week, every month, every quarter. Hi, Keith. Oh, Keith, how's everything? How's your wife? Yay. Like, you actually think that these people care. And every time you come to their house, they got a new BMW. They're getting a $45,000 patio with a jacuzzi installed. Oh, they can't get the windows cleaned because they're in fucking Hawaii. And then you raise the price on them $40 or $50 or $100, and then they stop calling you. Hey, I'm just reaching out. You haven't called. We usually clean your windows. Oh, well, you used to charge this much. So it's like, I became very angry for a while, and I started thinking like, oh my God, I've been lied to this whole time. That's when you start realizing that your family really loves you. Your clients are your clients, but your family is your family. And when you have to go home because you didn't close that fucking job, when you don't close the job at the price that you need to charge to make the money you need to make, you got to go home and you have to look your wife in her eyes. Or if you have kids, you have to look your children in their eyes and say, Daddy didn't close the fucking job today. Dad fucking wussed out, and I'm a fucking wuss, and I didn't make it happen. And I buckled again and charged the same low price, and that's why I can't get you that new bicycle, or I can't put presents under the tree. Or it goes all the way up to throwing your parents in a nursing home because you can't afford to take care of them. Like, I'm thinking about this on a much bigger level now, because all the people that you think care about you will throw you under the bus for a fucking nickel. They don't care about you. And I know that sounds really harsh, but it's true. And learning all that took all my shit to a whole new level. So now I got 2 six-figure businesses. I have 17 bank accounts. My credit score is at 816, and I have over $100,000 in the bank and 350-something thousand followers. I don't know, over 300,000. and I'm closing consulting deals for $5,000 a piece.
Talk about your coaching too, Keith.
Well, it's not about the money for me. I'm just talking about what's possible. But, dude, I help people market their businesses, whether it comes from YouTube or it's doing a brain dump and getting everything out of your head and getting it systematized and getting all your marketing straight. I do that too. And I also do personal coaching consulting, and it's $125 for 30 minutes or $250 for an hour. And I have tons of coaching clients, and I have 19 different streams. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm telling you, I'm the guy who was broke and no confidence, twitching, blinking with my mom dying of a heroin overdose, I have 19 different streams of income, multiple brand deals. I have money coming in from every different angle all the time. And my money is impeccably organized, and I have a bookkeeper who, I just got my P&L statement today of, we got a SEP IRA, a retirement fund, we got stocks, bonds, crypto, ETFs. I'm looking at getting into real estate, and I'm a sponge, and I want to learn everything I can about financial protection. I want to get into private trusts, a bulletproof trust, and get everything safe and secure in case something happens to me that my wife is taking care of, and that I want to be able to start a family and have children and take care of them where everything's taken care of. But most importantly, I want to put God first. And at the end of the day, if you lose everything or you get sick and you're laying in a hospital bed and you can't make money, it doesn't matter, because your health is your wealth. It truly is your wealth, and I mean that. And if you're in a deep, dark place one day, all the money doesn't matter. All you're going to do is feel all the regret because you didn't give to that orphan kid who needed that $100 or that homeless guy who needed something to eat, or you didn't do all the things that you should have done with the money, and you weren't a good steward of the money, and you fucking hoarded it, and you were greedy, or you squandered it, and you will pay the penalty. And the penalty will be severe. So, with all that being said, I'm grateful and I'm thankful, and I'm in a constant state of gratitude. My life is beautiful today, and I can't believe I made it out of the hole. From watching my best friends overdose on heroin and die and drink themselves to death, I've been to countless funerals, and I'm watching people that I love, watching their marriages break apart and just crazy shit happen. My house and my home is my safe little bubble, and I've learned the hard way what's important and what's not important, and I'll continue to learn that. And I messed up in the past by not being responsible and just working a dead-end job and going out and doing music at night and on the weekends, and I would go take my whole paycheck and spend it on like a microphone or something, or like some nice fancy outfit, so I could go do a show on Saturday night, and just praying that one day some breakthrough, and it's gonna there is no big breakthrough. Sometimes you might get a big breakthrough, but most of the time it's those little tiny wins that you bleed and sweat for and sacrifice for every single day, and those little wins like snowball to the point where it's like anyways, I'm talking a lot now, but I'm fired up though.
Hey Keith, man, listen. Thank you, man, for coming on the channel, man, coming on the show. I appreciate you and the hospitality you showed me, a little Sean, man. And you guys go and follow Keith Kalfas, man. All his links are going to be underneath this video. Come to his live event in March. I'm sure if you follow him on his Instagram, what's your Instagram, Keith? Keith Kalfas?
Yeah, Keith Kalfas.
He's going to promote all of that there, man. If you want to come and meet the man live in the flesh, you could do so at his live event.
Oh, and the stuff I said to you guys, I don't ever say this stuff on my YouTube videos. I don't ever go around. I don't like to be braggadocious or anything or talk about
yeah, but
what
you're
I've
just
done.
talking
It's not
about
myself.
the reality.
Yeah.
You made it from nothing to something.
There was a guy one time, I got off stage speaking a couple years ago, and he came to me for advice. A lot of people want to talk to me when I get off stage, and I just had this gut feeling like, you should never tell people how much money you have or what you have in the bank, it can be weaponized against you. It's just people can get funny. Money makes people funny. And I don't even have any fucking money yet. I'm still just getting started. I'm just a middle class guy, right? I see that. I don't think I have anything. I went to buy a watch the other day at the store, at the Guest store. It was like $150. It's not like a $5,000 watch. And I put the watch back, and I went online, and I did something right with the money. I don't want to say, but instead. But anyways, I'm at this live event. I get off stage, and the guy comes up to me, and I had this gut feeling to show him my bank account in a totally transparent way. And he goes, "Whoa!" Like, and 2 years later, this guy's fucking making $100,000 a month now. And we got on the phone. He's like, "Dude, when you showed me your bank account, you gave me the belief that it could happen for me because it was real." And I think it's important to be transparent with people and talk about your successes in a very humble way, in a very thankful way, because then that they can borrow your faith and borrow that. And dude, I'm telling you, this law of attraction thing is 1,000% for real, but is faith in action, right? Faith in action. That's all I want to say.
All right, y'all. We out here. Keith, appreciate you, man.
Later.
Peace.